Hi everyone, it's Kevin from the Figaro Owners Club. It's great to be with you. This video is all about how to change your tyre on your Figgy. Now I can hear already people shouting at me saying, oh, I don't need to be shown how to change a tyre on a car. But there are some interesting things with the Figaro, as usual with the car, and some little idiosyncrasies, especially where to put the jack. I'll point out to you on the video. Most people haven't got a handbook, so hopefully this is a useful video, and hopefully you're not watching this when you're broken down and you're having to do it. So maybe if you can, watch this video and prepare yourself just in case you do get a flat while you're out and about. Let's crack on. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is you need to make sure you're in park, pull the handbrake on as tight as you can because you don't want it moving when you're doing the work on the car, and make sure you're on level ground. Obviously I'm doing this in my drive, so I know it's all pretty level, but obviously that's an important thing. Now the spare tyre or emergency tyre is in the back of the car, so I'm going to pull it out and just show you where yours is. You would have seen this before, I'm sure. So that's the tyre, that's the jack, and the jack is held in place simply by screwing this up, or unscrewing it if you like. I'm going to have to get the brace to do that. So we'll get the wheel out, make sure we've got the correct pressure in it. That'll be an interesting thing to learn as well at this time. So all about the pressure of the tyre next. So what you should have in your kit is obviously the wrench, and that's a little towing bar and a couple of little spanners here for the engine, I think. Now what I just referred to a minute ago, this is the little brace which you use. So what you need to do, you can see there's a little tiny notch in there, so you pop that in there, and then all you need to do is unturn it. So you turn it up to wedge it in, and it fits in this little tiny, so you can see this little welded bar on there, and that just fits in here. So once I've loosened it, I can just undo it. There we go, and she'll come out now. So that there connects to that there, and it's supposed to sit on these little nuts here, yeah, to stop you damaging your car. So that's got that out. I've undone the back of that. I'm going to pull it out now. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have a little look at the old tyre. Now this is a get me home tyre, and that's what it's designed to do. It's designed to get you home. So what you'll find here is lots of Japanese writing, so we're just going to quickly see what that says, and we'll report back. But the important thing is to make sure it's got enough pressure in it. Now these have to be blown up to, I think it's about 4 bar, so that's about 60 psi. So I'm just going to check that now. Yeah, so it's got 4.2 kilograms by, yeah, the centimeters 2. Yeah, so that is, I think that's about 4 bar according to Google. So this needs to be blown up pretty hard, much higher than you would a normal tyre, and it's absolutely solid, really is. So that's your spare tyre. Let's just have a little look at what those are saying on the side. So yeah, just did a little Google Translate on that. So it's obviously it gives the pressure, which I said is about 60 pound, about 4 bar. That is really high. The next thing is it says don't drive over 100 kilometers an hour, so that's about 65. So don't really think we're going to be wanting to do that. If you want to, I would suggest something like 40 or 50 kilometers an hour, something like that, to be honest. 30 miles an hour, something I would have thought. Don't put snow chains on it and various other bits and bobs, but nothing to worry about too much there. Right, let's go to the next bit, and the next bit is all about how to fit the jack to the right place on the car. Right, so this is when the fun starts. Before you go down here, I'm going to go right down here. You can see that I'm at the front of the car. Right, can you see that? that little niche, little nibble out. It's about a sort of a semicircle nibble, something like, I suppose, 8 inches or 200 millimeters back from the front. That's where it goes if you're doing the front tyres. If you're doing the back tyre, you've got the same little nibble. There it is there. A bit clearer on this one, isn't it? Because it's silver paint, silver finish there. So yeah, you can see that. So that's where she sits. So that's if you're doing the back tyres. Okay, so important to make sure you position it correctly. So I'm going to go and do that, and then we'll do a bit more videoing. So I've got that in position there. You can see what I'm talking about. So the little notch here is just sit in the middle of that, and it's just under. Now I haven't pulled the car up yet, haven't lifted it yet. The next thing you want to do is loosen the screws, I mean the bolts on the tyre, because obviously once you lifted the car up, then this wheel will start rotating, a little bit more difficult to do. So I would suggest loosening the bolts first before you lift the car up. Now I did forget to say, if you do break down, I think it's a good idea to put the hazards on, and also if you've got one, put a warning triangle, you know, 50 feet back from where you're doing the repairs. Always very good to do that. So let's get this off. So how to get the polos off, I have got a separate video on this, but what I tend to do, you're wondering what this masking tape is on this little wrench end. This is how you do it. So you've got a sharp kind of end to this. That's obviously that goes into the nut. I have got a separate video on this, but what you need to do, I'd put something round here, because what if you do break down, you end up doing that, you can end up marking the edge of this with your wrench, and that's really annoying because you end up scratching it. So good little tip is do it now, get this out the car, or when you've got time, and just run either some electrical tape or something around that, and that will stop you marking. So I'm going to try and get this off. I can't do the holding the camera and doing it at the same time, so I'm going to remove that, and I'll just tell you how I did it. So it's off. Most of it is really around the tyre. Okay, just be careful of you damaging the car as you do it, but there is times when you probably want to go the other way as well, and just prise it off at the last piece, and then it will fall off. Try and catch it, because you don't want it to land that way onto the drive or onto the road. And the other bit here is just basically pop that in, and then that'll go. As I said, I'm going to do that whilst I'm not holding the camera, otherwise it might scratch it. There you are, that's off now. It's quite a clever design. You've got these little tiny clasps in here. You might find some of these missing on your car. I have seen these broken before, so that's how it should look. So you should have 4 of these and have like a little ring around them. Okay, that's what you're looking for. So you're ending up with this. These are obviously the nuts we're going to be turning. You can see here I've got an extended valve on the car here, which you can, again, there's another link on our website for those, but really we recommend these because they're so easy to get air into your tyre. So good little tip is to fit these valve extenders. Right, so the next thing you want to do is you want to go round and loosen these by putting the jack at the wrench at an angle, and then obviously stepping on it, and then loosen each nut, but then don't do any more, and then we'll jack the car up after that. Okay, that's loosened now. So as I said, just loosen. You'll find that one will be tight, and that's the one that the tyres now, the wheel's now sitting on. So the next bit to do is to go to here, just pop this through, and then just basically, I don't need to video this, but obviously winch the car up until the tyre's off the ground. Okay, so we've got it, we've removed the old one, that's the flat. Well, it's not flat, but it, you know, it would be. And then we're putting the temporary get me home wheel on. So Something to bear in mind here is always with these nuts, you see a little chamfer, okay, that's always got to go this way in, okay, don't ever do it that way round. So the chamfer should not be showing, it should be on the inside of the bolt. And the reason that happens is because it's a very, very clever system. If the wheel was to come loose in any way, it wouldn't actually ever fall off, because it would be pushing against the nut, so the nut wouldn't actually, in theory, rotate. So very, very clever idea. So the next part is to obviously put these on by hand tighten them up if you like, and then you want to lower this down so the wheel's onto the ground, because if you try and tighten it up like now, it's a little bit more difficult. So get it reasonably tight. As you say, you could do it a little bit, get it as tight as you can with the old wrench, lower it down, and then tighten it up as hard as you can go. Now the important thing is when you're tightening up the nuts, very important to remember that what you don't want to do is go that one, that one, that one, that one, okay, you always go across. So treat it like that's number 1, that's number 2, that's number 3, and that's number 4. Okay, so always go across, never go round that way or that way, always go across, that 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and what I would suggest, I wouldn't suggest standing on this. I've done it before in the past, and I'm not sure it's really good to do that. So I'll just really hand tighten it. It's fine. In fact, when I undid these, I could undo it. It wasn't super tight, so just hand tighten it. It'll be absolutely fine. And obviously it's a get me home tyre, so it's designed to, as it says, get you home. It's not designed to go a long way. So what you really need to do is get to a garage and get your flat repaired. So anyway, I think that's it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. As I said, I don't think there was one on Google, and when I looked, I thought it'd be a useful one to have for the club and for other Figaro owners too, especially on where to put the jack, because that's not actually particularly clear. So we've cleared that up for you, and hopefully you learned something from this video, and we'll see you on the next Figgy video, hard to say that, very, very soon. All right, nice to see you all. Cheers, bye bye.